So there's that kind of content that you see everywhere now. And you know the format. It's a woman in her 30s. She turns the camera on herself. The phone is slightly below eye level, and she starts doing this shit with her finger. She's making her eyes all big and going like this. And, the universal gesture of correction, right? The voice carries the calm authority of a school teacher who's about to explain something important to a child, us being the children, the audience, right? What follows then is delivered with absolute certainty. It sounds like life advice. But if you listen carefully, it's usually just somebody processing their own unresolved history out loud, right? Trying to tell the narrative of their life. It's aimed at you and it's justified by saying, oh, I'm going to make this content because I know it's going to help somebody. Yeah. Men do it too. They just put on a different costume. They have workout clothes or something. Either way, the structure is familiar. They talk about a wound, the realization, a turning point, and then a moral, and then some closure. Common titles are Why I'm Single in My 30s, Healing My Inner Child, How Discipline Changed My Life. It feels to us therapeutic for the moment or something. It feels empowering. It performs extremely well, especially when people are half naked saying it. But something in me fucking hates it. Not because reflection is wrong. It's not. Christianity practically invented rigorous interior reflection. St. Augustine wrote Confessions in like the year 300, and it's a relentless examination of his own heart, arguably the first autobiography ever written. But Augustine was not constructing a brand. He wasn't presenting a clean arc. He wasn't narrating himself into mastery. He was confessing bewilderment in a prayer to God. You were within me, but I was outside, he says about God. That's the difference. The modern posture says, if I can explain myself, if I can master myself, if I can label my wounds correctly, I then can secure my future. If I can assemble the narrative, I can own the life. The Christian claim is destabilizing. You are not the author of your life. You are simply a character in a story being written. And now we arrive at the uncomfortable center. The issue isn't that these videos are embarrassing. The issue is that they presume authorship. They assume the meaning of life is available to the person living it right now in tidy language, ready for broadcast at 25 or whatever age you are. But any story you're told about yourself at 25 will embarrass you at 35. And what felt definitive and certain at 35 is going to dissolve by 45 and then 55, et cetera, et cetera. We reinterpret our life constantly. We discover motives under motives, and we realize that we were blind in places where we felt the most certain. If you're not doing that, something's wrong. And scripture warns us, the heart is deceitful above all things. That's Jeremiah 17:9. If I cannot fully know my own heart, then how can I narrate it with any authority? Here's the distinction Christianity protects. There's a difference between examination and self-definition. Examination is humble. Self-definition is possessive. The Christian examines his life intensely, but he does so before God, not before an audience. He asks, Lord, what are you doing in me? Lord, where am I wrong? Lord, show me what I cannot see. He does not announce, let me tell you exactly who I am, because your life is not yours to finalize. That does not make you small. It makes you dependent on something infinitely larger than your own interpretation and intelligent enough to know that it exists. Christians believe in providence, that God is working through events in ways that may only become clear long after they occur. We are participants, not authors. We see paragraphs. God sees the whole book. That produces a virtue that's nearly extinct online. Humility about interpretation. It allows a person to admit, I may not understand my story yet. I may be wrong about why I'm the way I am, because I'm still being written. The saints did not build identities. They surrendered identities. St. John the Baptist put it in a sentence. He must increase, I must decrease. The algorithm wants confidence and completion and nudity. The spiritual life produces dependence and patience. And there's something tragic about trying to lock the meaning of your life in place while you're still living it. It's an attempt to seize what can only be received. Yes, therapy can be good. Naming wounds can be good. Self-reflection can also be good. But certainty about your own narrative, especially in public, can quietly become pride. Well, that's pretty much all it is, let's be honest. Now, let me paint the opposite picture for you. Imagine a 20-year-old dude discovering his life not by narrating it out loud, not by trying to understand it, but by following the truth. He wakes up early, he goes to work, he lifts, he studies, he prays, he fails, he repents, he gets up, he does it again, he tries again. He doesn't know what the outcome will be. He doesn't know if he will succeed or suffer or lose. He doesn't know what story will be told about him, and he doesn't care. He just walks toward it anyway, like a warrior who does not know if he's going to die in battle, but walks calmly toward the enemy every single time. That kind of stoic energy in a 20-year-old, it's there. It can happen. By following Christ, by allowing his story to unfold instead of forcing one, by taking the results, however hard, however humiliating, however confusing, and saying, this, whatever just happened, is going to shape me. That does not mean passivity. It does not mean you stop making effort. It means the opposite. It means you maximize effort. You train harder. You work harder. You discipline your mind. You build fortitude through repetition. But you know the results belong to Him. And when the impulse rises to explain yourself, to narrate your life, to define yourself, you quiet your mind with prayer, you thank Him, and you focus on Him. When someone asks you who you are, you say, I am a follower of Jesus Christ. And that's enough. A woman the other day asked me to tell them something interesting about myself. I was completely caught off guard. For a moment, I felt stupid because I couldn't. I couldn't think of a single thing. And I genuinely could not think of anything interesting. Like, it wasn't some false modesty or some spiritual performance I was putting on. I actually fumbled for words. I ended up saying something stupid like, well, I'd rather talk about ideas or so, I don't know, which is true. I honestly didn't know what to say. But I think looking back at that, that may have been one of the coolest moments of the last month. Just how little I think about my own story, how little I rehearse who I am, how little I care about it. Because at the end of the day, I'm a slave to Jesus Christ. That's it. That's who I am.